Welcome to a journey of mystery and exploration where we peel back the layers of mythology to reveal connections with our everyday lives. Have you heard of Anubis, the Egyptian god with a canine head? Known for his exceptional nose, Anubis was the divine investigator of the afterlife, using his keen sense of smell to distinguish the virtuous from the deceitful. Picture him now, in a modern-day park, enthusiastically sniffing every tree, every fire hydrant, every corner, much like our own four-legged companions. Fascinating, isn't it, to think of our dogs as descendants of a divine sniffer, constantly exploring their surroundings one sniff at a time, just like Anubis. What if your furry friend is actually channeling the ancient deity, seeking to make sense of the world just as Anubis did in the afterlife? This intriguing connection between dogs and sniffing behavior is just a taste of the exciting stories and facts we're about to dive into. Stay tuned as we unravel more curious connections in this video. But before we begin, if you like this kind of content, please like the video, comment below, and subscribe to my channel. Now let's dive in. Now let's snuffle our way back to the origins of Anubis. Ancient Egypt was a land teeming with gods, each having their own unique roles and responsibilities. Among them, Anubis stood out. He was the god of mummification and the afterlife, a rather intense gig if you ask me. Anubis was often depicted as a man with the head of a jackal, and there's a good reason for that. Jackals were often seen lurking around cemeteries, leading the Egyptians to believe these creatures had a connection to the afterlife. They saw Anubis as their guide, ushering souls into the realm of the dead. But Anubis wasn't just standing by the gates waving souls in. Oh no, he had a hand in the whole mummification process, ensuring the deceased were prepared for their journey. So Anubis wasn't just a dog with a job, he was a divine guide with a serious responsibility. Talk about a career path. Okay, so we've got a god with a dog's head who guides souls to the afterlife. Sounds pretty straightforward, right? Well, hold on to your leashes because Anubis's stories are anything but. Let's dive into one of Anubis's most intriguing tales. One of his primary duties was weighing the hearts of the deceased against the feather of truth. Now imagine being the guy who's got to tell someone, sorry, your heart's heavier than a feather, you don't make the cut. Talk about a tough day at the office. But Anubis wasn't just about the gloom and doom. There's a fun little story where he assists Isis in the resurrection of Osiris. I mean, who else was she going to call? Ghostbusters weren't around yet. Anubis's tales highlight his significant and diverse roles, from the ultimate judge to the divine embalmer. So if you ever find yourself in a heart-weighing situation, remember, don't try to fool the god with the canine instincts. So, what have we learned about our divine canine Anubis? Well, let's take a moment to chew on the bones of the matter. Born from the wild imagination of ancient Egyptians, Anubis is a god with the head of a jackal and the body of a man. He's been in the godly business since the dawn of civilization, making him a real old-timer. Our furry friend isn't your typical deity, though. He's the god of mummification, the one making sure your afterlife journey is smooth and wrinkle-free. He's the original embalmer, the master of the rap, and let's not forget his role as the ultimate judge. He's the one holding the feather, tipping the scales of justice in the afterlife, deciding whether you're lighter than a feather or heavier than a heart full of guilt. So whether you're an ancient Egyptian or a modern-day history buff, remember Anubis, the divine doggy who always fetches justice. And that, folks, is Anubis, the original dog with a bone, or should we say a feather.